All right, up here in North Carolina on the Outer Banks, we're at the Wright Brothers Museum and historical site. This is like a little indoor area they got, thank God, because it's pretty hot today. It's almost 100 and humid. But we're gonna go check out. We'll check out what's inside here. I think they might have a replica of the plane in here. Then we'll check out the buildings, replicas of the buildings they worked in when they were doing their first flight work, getting the plane ready and working on it. And then over here we got the monument up there. And then on the other side of that, we did a drive around. You can drive around this monument. They have a another replica of the plane out there, and we'll do that as well. So let's jump inside and check this out. But before we do that, please hit like and subscribe. Help our channel grow. Thank you. Here's a cool layout they did of the thing. You come in, you drive around. And this is the monument I just showed you. You could actually drive around it. So over here, they've got a replica of the plane. Here's those huts, and this is where we are. So check it out. I'll show you some of this stuff in here. There you go, guys. You can pause and read this. There we go. I'm sure you probably know this information already. Like always, they got a nice little gift store, but it's really just a walk and read thing. It's stuff you could just get on the internet. Right here, you can see that you can go down and read all the information. So that's that same spot, and they got little interactive things for the kids or whatever all the way through here. I'm not sure what this is. This says fly like an eagle. I guess maybe they put a fan on you and you can check what your aerodynamics of your body is. But yeah, they got all kinds of fun stuff like this. We've got teamwork. Open the door and find out more about it. So really interactive stuff for the kids. They've got all these cool little planes up above, but there is no replica by the looks of it in here. It's just going to be out front, or out by that the memorial building. Here's how they did it. And see, they're actually flying that way with it. They got the tail out front, and here's the guy laying down on it. So it looks like they had a skid set up right here that they'd go on, so there's no wheels to make it more lightweight. And there you go. So let's check some more stuff out. All right, I lied. There's a nice portrait, but there it is. There's an indoor replica. They've got an outdoor replica. I think it's more heavy duty. This is actually made of the fabric and the wood that they looks like it's pretty close to exactly what they had, rather than the one that's outside looks like it's made out of metal or concrete. So you could jump around on it, you can climb up on it maybe. I didn't see anybody on it out there, but they probably did it more heavy duty because of the elements outside. But look at this thing, huh? So they have two propellers, 1 and 2. They had a tail right here, but that's probably for lift out front. Now I haven't read up on this yet. Truly's reading up on it, so we'll ask her in a second about this. But here's something pretty cool. That's the engine design they made, and that's going to be pretty dang heavy, right? That's going to be their heaviest thing, except for the guy that's laying there with it. So this is going to be hundreds of pounds, and then the guy's going to be a couple hundred pounds, or at least 100 something. So here's some information if you want to read. Here's a replica of it right here. 4 piston, little 4 piston engine. There you go. Hopefully the reflection isn't screwing that up too bad. But let's see what Truly's figured out with all the reading. Here's another example of the displays that we have here. And a good shot from the side of the actual wings. And I got glass up so you can't reach out and grab onto it because you'd probably get destroyed. But that is cool. Another cool angle of that. So there's an example of the skid that it would go on. And that is how they controlled the flap up front right there. See that? So the guy that's laying down on the plane probably would control that with hand cables in order to get some leverage to get that nose up in the air. So here's a couple great shots, right? Look at that guy. He just stuck his feet up against those back pieces, and there he goes. Pretty interesting. See, now this one didn't have the nose, the same type of nose on it. I don't know if this is a earlier version. So in 1902, and then so this is an example of the older glider. So these are just gliders, no motors yet to propel, no propulsion. This is kind of fun. They've got a big TV screen set up just right across from the plane here, and it's a little video thing that happens of them actually doing the flight in animation. That's pretty neat. All right, here they got a nice little model made out of metal here. It's done really well. You can see this is the front of the plane right here, and then they got this little inside replica done too. It's really done good with the engine. Whoever did this model did a great job. And they keeping it self-explanatory right there. But there you go, the rudder in the back, propellers. They got two propellers here. Interactive. Oh, nope, they're not spinning the chains inside. I was hoping it would spin the chain, but that's pretty cool. So they started a whole big lecture thing by the plane in there, so we moved outside and we're gonna go over and check out where they did their original work on the plane and stuff. And while I'm taking a look real quick here, you can see a 1, 2, and 3 out there. That is first flight, second flight, and third flight. And when we get out to the sheds, we'll show you where the fourth flight went all the way down to where the trees end down there. So let's go check out those sheds to start with. A little bit more closer to the first 3. And then we're not going to walk down to these either. There's the fourth one down there. Now, mind you, those bushes weren't there. And this was all sand dunes back then. So this was all sand. And then we figured that's why they came here. There was always a constant prevailing wind. And, I read that once, that's why they came here. But, I don't know why they came halfway across the country. But the sand dunes, if you crash, you're not going to probably die landing in the sand. But now there's an airstrip over here, too. I don't know if you can see that out there. There's some of the white lines for it right there. But that's pretty cool. We're going to wander over here and check these out. Here we go. There's the buildings. There's the center. So that's over the plane right there. That part right there is over the plane. That's a really good looking building. But so one building for their workshop and the other one to live in, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, sure enough. I guess they were doing maybe some work back here too, fabric work or something like that, possibly. But they did a little good job. I don't know if it was this dust-free back then, but I'm sure they were eating sand half the time. Let's see what this is to say here. I'm away from home. I'll get you guys a chance to read this stuff. Pause and read if you want. Pause and read. A wide shot there. And this is cool. So I guess this was the garage right here. Kind of odd, but for the winds they probably did something like that back then. But obviously the plane's wings weren't going to fit in here, but maybe they would bring the fuselage in here, the main part of the body of it, and then be able to work on it and then just attach the wings later. I don't know. Doesn't really. I don't know if it said anything about that. Oh, look at this. I don't know what that's all about. Kill Devil Hill. Here we go. If you guys want to pause and read that. There's a good shot of them. Let's see what this got to say over here. Once again, the flights. I think we see all the same information inside, but I'll show it to you anyhow. So bright I can't see my phone, so I'm hopefully getting this stuff. Here's your First 3 flights, and then that's where the 4th flight went. Almost a full minute. Woohoo!
This plaque has a mustache.
It has a mustache?
It has a mustache. Look at the very
Was it Wilbur's or was it Orville's?
I don't know. I'd have
Which
to look
one?
at them again, but it's
Which one?
definitely
Oh.
is somebody's mustache at the bottom there.
Oh, this is cool. This is the track they took off on right here. I wonder if this is the exact position. You can see how they put it, and you can see how sandy it is underneath all this grass, guys. But yeah, that might say something on that. But this is the track they would get going, and they'd take off from right there. So this must be, well, let's go ahead and do this. Go ahead and read that, guys. Mustache, 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 mustache.
Oh, mustache. Oh, mustache.
A mustache, you must have a mustache. Can you buy her wrapped candies? All right, there you go. So this might be the takeoff point right here. Come on down this track and get out there. So it's nice that they have a walkway going out, but we are not doing that right now. Too hot. Too hot. There's the information right there. I don't know if the sun flares are screwing this up, but I'll just try doing that. So there you go. Read that. There's the track I was just showing you on the ground right here. It's like a mini railroad track almost, you know. And then that. So there you go. So we're gonna head back in, cool down, and then we'll go out and jump to the monument. All right, here's Kill Devil Hill. You can go ahead and pause and read that. And like I said, this was all a big sand dune back then. I'm gonna hike up this baby, almost 100 degrees, humid, but at least there's a breeze blowing. And I can just stick my head in that when I get back down and soak out. All right, let's jump up there. So I just came from right down there at the watering station. That's a heck of a climb because it's really steep coming up this part and really steep coming up this part. But they do have a loop that goes around this way that's a lot less of an incline, and also this way. So if you're coming from the building, that's the building that I was at there, guys, and there's the 2 sheds. And there's the example of the distances that they flew, but you know, they flew from up here. I think they started, I don't know if they were all the way up at the top here, but that was their thing, is they'd start up here and fly out. So look at that ocean view, huh? Just wow. And I'm kind of standing on a little peninsula right here, a little point. But if you look down here on this side, now this is looking, I guess it's not really north and south, but this is looking down the coast, right? Towards Nag's Head. You can see on the other side of this from the building, they have another replica of the plane down there. And I'm not sure if it's the original plane or just a glider, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. But before I get too into this, I forgot to do a pan up here on this. Let me go super wide. You can read that. I'm walking over here and check out this beautiful memorial they built out of block. Isn't that great? That's fantastic. Let's go around the other side. This isn't quite exactly around the other side, but you can see you can actually go inside this thing, so we'll go in there in a second. They got Orville and Wilbur's little bus here with some information. Once again, there's the building with all the information and stuff on it, and the air conditioning. And then the plane over here. So let's see what this says real quick. Here's an example of a more gradual sidewalk if you walked over from the welcome center there. This is backlit, so you really can't see it. Let's see if I can get zoom in, and I don't know if you can read that or not. It's too reflective on the screen, but this is a cool angle. Kind of looks like the Flatiron Building out of New York there. But here it's dedicated. right there. Hopefully, let me zoom in on that, or push in, that is. There you go. So let's go ahead and go inside. All right, let's go inside this baby.
But out here there is breeze.
Ooh, it's like a jail cell. A vault of some sort.
Oh, these are all
Interesting, huh? Look at that.
up there is where they did all these.
Huh. I guess this is a staircase that goes up into the tip of the tower. Why they don't have air conditioning going, I don't know.
No, that goes to where they died. That goes
Oh, is this a tomb?
No, I think this. I saw something up there, like a little. I saw like a little like thing where you could like peek out of it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's what that is up there.
Very cool. Thanks, guys. So there you go. And then this is a little thing there. So go ahead and pause and read this stuff. Right? I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to take a little time to read this before we head over to that exterior plane that I just showed you. Cool. Here's a shot out the door. Very cool. Another call board here. I'll let you guys go ahead and pause and read this. And some cool pictures, and I got a couple other boards, but there's the outdoor version of that plane you saw inside. So we're going to go over and take a quick look at that in a second. Another board here. Sorry I didn't get a lot of the stuff from inside the building, but it's just too much reading. If you go online, there's probably a website for this facility that you can actually get the information off, but you can also Google a lot of this. There's a great picture example of the area they flew at. And you can see this isn't Kill Devil Hill back here. That was probably another sand dune they leveled to put in developments. Just to the north of this, there's a Publix market. So that might be where that hill was. All right, let's go check this out. Hats off to Stephen Smith, the sculptor on this. Wow, huh? This is fantastic. I'm gonna go super wide so I can get close and show you guys some stuff. Since we weren't able to get really close to the replica inside that has replicated the actual wood and canvases that they used. This one here you can get up and actually get really close to the designs that they did, you know. And you can get in and get really close to this guy right here. I don't know which one of the Wright brothers that is, but there's parts of the engine right there. Huh, look at this. I didn't notice anything about this earlier, but looks like they blew the exhaust up, put it into, maybe they put it into the wood somehow on that. I don't know if that's real, but that's really cool. So here's some information on this. That. Let me pause this while I go around the other side. There's a good shot from the side right there. Excellent, beautiful structure. So if this is the first flight, I think that would have been Orville inside. He did the first flight, and Wilbur did the second one. Orville did the third. Wilbur did the long one, the final one. But here's this track right here, right, that they were going down. I think we'll check this stuff out here in a second too, these guys. And there's the cameraman that took the photos over there. But I think it's interesting that they had this piece here on wheels, right? See how they had the wheels like almost little mini train runners on top of the track that were probably on there. And then they rested it on top of this cross member here. And then when they lift off, they're free to go. But they had assist while they were doing it. So here's one of the propellers. I didn't realize In the other models that were inside, it was a single propeller. I wonder if they really did build the blades up like that. I didn't read that inside. I did read that this was stationary. This tailpiece here was stationary at first. And then they made it so they could turn it to help control pitch and yaw, maybe? I don't know. But they're missing the cable, the control cable to lift that up and down. On this in particular model, the cable is supposed to go over that piece right there, and it's missing. But it'd be interesting if this was actually I'll have to go back. We're going to go back inside to hit the bathrooms before we go. Maybe I'll go take a look at those other pictures, because I don't remember any tubes for the chains either. See that? They put tubes on this for the chains. I wonder if that's true to form as well. So, and one of the chains got broken off, so somebody climbed on this and was messing around, and that chain got broken off. So maybe the cable got broken there too. People tend to mess around with stuff they shouldn't. So there you go. Let's take a look at this real quick. This is kind of fun. Look at that, how great that is. I know that we're not lit right, but wow, what great craftsmanship. These guys really know what they're doing. Amazing. This guy was hired to applaud. So he was just, he was the applauder. This guy was the freeze framer. You know how at the end of movies, you throw your fist in the air and they freeze frame the end of the movie? I think it was like Breakfast Club might have done that, 30 Rock. But these guys are from the U.S. life-saving thing. They assisted in all this. You can look all that up online. Boy, are these all done so well. Let's go check out this camera guy here. A lot of mustaches back then. But look at this. That's the way the old wood tripods were, and it's amazing they actually found a guy with a camera to take photos of this, right? Look at that. Over the shoulder shot. Get my director skills back in. Over the shoulder shot, and then wouldn't you know it, we got a plane flying up there carrying a banner. Not sure what it says. Let's see if I can get it. Does it say Wright Brothers? Wright Brothers welcome to? I don't know what the heck that says. I can't read it from here. There you go. OTS. Wide OTS. Let's go check out this board right here. All right, this answers my questions right there. So that was Orville flying. Wilbur was hanging on to the wing until he had liftoff. John T. Daniels was the photographer. Go ahead and read this stuff. Mr. Clapper there was Willis Doe. Johnny Moore was the freeze frame guy. These two guys for the end. Here you go. Among friends. Can you read that? Pause and read that. All right. So we'll end this video with a shot of that. You can see that's pretty big writing up there. That's the great dedication to this situation right here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. Help our channel grow. Check out another video right there. Check out our channel over here. Over 2,000 videos of travel logs like this, vacations, exploring, automobiles and tiny houses and construction machinery, all kinds of fun stuff. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.